The night sky over Metropolis rippled like liquid glass. From the rooftop of the Daily Planet, Lois Lane watched stars flicker and smear across the heavens as though some unseen hand were stirring the universe itself. Below, the city's hum softened to a strange, anticipatory hush. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Somewhere far beyond the Milky Way, an impossibility had begun to unfold, and reality, always so certain, was starting to quiver at the seams. Deep in the heart of the sun, Superman Prime stirred from his golden meditation chamber. For 15,000 years he had lived within that star, drinking light, growing more radiant than any mortal legend. His thoughts were a choir of suns, his heartbeat a cosmic drum. He had mastered the language of collapsing galaxies and heard the whispers of time itself. Yet tonight, a new vibration threaded through the cosmic music, an unfamiliar rhythm, playful yet unstoppable, like the tap of a finger daring the universe to break. Kal-El opened his eyes, and the fusion storms around him bent away in reverence. "What are you?" he murmured, not to the fire, but to the distant pulse that had just entered his senses. In all his eons of guardianship, nothing had ever carried such fearless simplicity. It was not malice. It was not desperation. It was boredom. On the other side of existence, in a quiet city of modest apartment blocks and cheap noodle stands, Saitama sneezed. "Weird," he said, rubbing his bald head. The late-night breeze carried a scent that didn't belong. Not food, not smog, something older than stars. Genos, his ever-eager disciple, looked up from a battered training manual. "Sensei, did you feel that spike in energy? My sensors nearly overloaded." Saitama shrugged. Maybe someone strong showed up." Finally, he stretched like a cat and glanced at the moon. It shimmered brighter than usual, its pale face marked with streaks of shimmering gold. A grin spread across his own face, a rare boyish grin. "Guess I should check it out." The first tier in the cosmos opened above a forgotten stretch of interstellar void, a curtain of fractured starlight stretching for light years. From the DC multiverse side, the Guardians of Oa scrambled to understand the anomaly, their rings chattering in alarm. From the world of heroes and monsters where Saitama resided, reality itself simply shrugged as if to say, "Sure, why not?" Through that luminous scar, two universes began to bleed together. Planets flickered in and out of phase, oceans swapped tides with distant nebulae. The Justice League and the Hero Association both dispatched their finest to investigate, but the breach pulsed with an energy that rejected all but the most singular of champions. Superman Prime crossed the rift first. Wrapped in a cape of living starlight, he glided across the void with the quiet confidence of a god who has outgrown fear. The instant his foot touched the alien soil of Saitama's Earth, the planet responded, gravitational fields recalibrated, tectonic plates hummed in harmony, even the atmosphere thickened as though awed by his presence. Saitama arrived seconds later, hopping casually from rooftop to rooftop until he reached the scarred epicenter of the breach. He wore his familiar yellow jumpsuit, a bit wrinkled from laundry day, and a simple white cape that fluttered in the rippling gravity. His slippers crunched on the crystallized ground. He raised a single eyebrow at the towering figure of gold and crimson waiting for him. Hey," Saitama said, voice flat but eyes bright with anticipation. "You the strong one I've been sensing. Please tell me you're not another monster of the weak." Superman Prime studied the unassuming man before him. No aura of menace, no cosmic thunder, yet the heartbeat he sensed was boundless. "I am Kal-El of Krypton," he replied, his words carrying the resonance of collapsing stars. "I protect the multiverse. And you are not of any world I know." "Cool," Saitama said. "Name's Saitama. I'm a hero for fun." He tilted his head. "Multiverse protector. Huh? Sounds busy." A tremor rolled through the fractured ground, a reminder that the two universes were straining against their own collision. Far above, the tier in space widened, sending ribbons of raw creation spilling into the night. Both men turned their eyes skyward, one pair glowing with ancient sunlight, the other calm and unreadable. Superman Prime felt the weight of infinite lives behind that rift. If this anomaly was left unchecked, entire realities would unravel. This convergence must be sealed, he said. But your presence, it anchors the breach. You may be the cause. Saitama scratched his cheek. Huh? That's awkward. His grin sharpened. Guess we fight. Then, for a heartbeat, the cosmos itself hesitated. Two philosophies, one born of solemn guardianship, the other of irreverent invincibility, stood eye to eye. Around them, time slowed until even photons dared not move. Superman Prime's golden aura flared, illuminating continents. If battle is inevitable, I will not hold back. Saitama's cape fluttered lazily. Good, he said, voice low with an excitement he almost never felt. Neither will I. The first sparks of an unimaginable clash flickered between them, lighting the fractured heavens like the dawn of a brand new universe. The first blow did not make a sound. It simply erased the silence, replacing it with a vacuum so profound that stars thousands of light years away flickered out for a heartbeat. Superman Prime and Saitama launched at each other with such speed that even light struggled to keep up, colliding in a flash that split the sky into rivers of molten dawn. Shockwaves coursed through the merging universes. Oceans boiled on distant worlds. Moons wobbled in their orbits. In Metropolis, Lois Lane clung to the daily planet globe as the building's shadow twisted across dimensions. On Saitama's Earth, Genos and the other heroes braced themselves against a gale that felt like the breath of creation itself. Saitama emerged from the initial burst with a grin, his yellow suit singed but intact. Not bad, he said, flexing his fist. Usually things explode when I tap them. Superman Prime answered with a blur of golden strikes, thousands of blows in less than a heartbeat, each carrying the force of a supernova. Saitama met them all with casual, almost playful precision, every punch of his own cracking space like glass. Finally, Saitama murmured, eyes alight, someone who won't pop like a balloon. They tore across dimensions like living comets. One instant they battled in the vacuum between galaxies, their movements bending constellations into spirals. The next they crashed into the molten core of a newborn star. Solar plasma swirled around them like a fiery ocean, but neither flinched. Superman Prime inhaled the star's energy, his body flaring brighter than a quasar. You are remarkable, he said, voice trembling the stellar winds, but every force has a boundary. Guess we'll see, Saitama replied, and drove a punch through the star's heart. The explosion hurled both fighters into the void beyond time itself, a blank expanse of pure potential where even causality had no meaning. Here, Prime's omniscient senses stretched to their utmost limits. He glimpsed the infinite multiverse unraveling at the seams, the cosmic rift widening with every tremor of their battle. He realized the truth. Only one of them could end this before reality collapsed. Gathering eons of solar power, Superman Prime unleashed a strike known only to the oldest Kryptonian myths, the Sol Invictus blow. Golden light swelled until it eclipsed entire timelines, a wave of existence-forging force aimed straight at Saitama. Saitama met it with a single serious punch, the move he rarely needed. The collision of their wills birthed a new star, a sphere of pure white energy that devoured the emptiness around them. Universes trembled. For a moment the two seemed evenly matched, locked in a stalemate where even infinity bowed. Then the tiniest flicker of imbalance appeared. Saitama felt it first, a subtle drain, as though the endless engine of his strength had finally met friction. Superman Prime's power wasn't merely force, it was every sun he had ever absorbed, every law of physics he now commanded. He began to weave reality itself, bending gravity and probability, shaping the battlefield to his advantage. Saitama smirked. Okay, that's new. Prime's eyes blazed with golden fire. He channeled the energy of countless stars, not to destroy but to contain. Threads of living light coiled around Saitama like serpents of destiny, each filament carrying the weight of a galaxy. Saitama tore through them, but with every strike the light tightened, redirecting his momentum, feeding on his own strength. You fight for fun, Prime said, voice like rolling thunder. I fight for the existence of all things. That purpose tips the scale. Saitama lunged again, driving a fist that could shatter creation. Prime caught it in his palm. The impact sent concentric rings of light rippling across the void, erasing entire dead worlds in their wake. For the first time, Saitama's arm trembled. His eyes widened, half in surprise, half in exhilaration. Prime leaned closer, their foreheads almost touching. Yield. The multiverse cannot withstand more. For a heartbeat, Saitama considered defiance. He had never yielded to anyone. Yet the cosmic rift behind them howled, tearing wider with every microsecond. He sensed that his own limitless power, if unleashed further, would finish the destruction. And beneath Superman's blazing aura, he felt something rare, not arrogance, but absolute responsibility. Saitama said quietly. Guess I'm done for today. He allowed his fist to lower, the tension sliding from his shoulders. Good fight though. Prime exhaled, the golden threads dissolving into harmless starlight. He extended a hand, an offer, not a command. You are extraordinary, Saitama, perhaps the only being who has ever challenged me without malice. Saitama smirked, shaking the hand. Yeah, you're pretty good yourself. Maybe next time I'll bring coupons for ramen. With that dry remark, he turned and stepped back through the fading breach, his figure shrinking against the collapsing rift. Prime hovered a moment longer, watching the universes knit themselves whole once more. The battle was over, but the echo of their clash would hum through reality for eons, a reminder that even in a multiverse of infinite legends, there could still be surprises. And somewhere in the quiet streets of City Z, Saitama walked home under a sky a little brighter than before, wondering if tomorrow might finally bring another fight that could